Hi, this is Damon Miller again, and in this video I'm going to walk through the process of activating the CloudSwitch Explorer appliance so we can migrate VMs into the cloud. The basic steps are shown here: activation of the appliance, configuration of a cloud account, and setup of a VM location for access to existing virtual machines. If I switch to VMware Workstation, we'll see the console for an appliance that is already running. I want to quickly review what I covered in a previous video, namely that we have an IP address and a URL for access to the deployed appliance. If I switch to a browser, we'll connect to this appliance. The first time you connect to an appliance, you'll probably see a browser warning similar to this because of the self-signed certificate used for encryption. This is normal, so all you need to do is accept the warning to access the website. After accepting the certificate, we'll see Explorer's initial configuration wizard. This is a three-step process, and the first step is activation. This is where we'll use the account we previously created to request a license from CloudSwitch. The first password field is asking for the password you used when deploying the appliance under VMware. The next two fields are the username and password you chose when registering an account for access to the appliance. If I enter this data and click Next, Explorer will confirm our credentials and bring us to the next step. In this step, we're providing an Amazon EC2 account for access to cloud resources. This will allow us to actually start servers within Amazon's environment. The two values Explorer wants here are actually different from the username and password used to access Amazon's EC2 website. Because this can be a little confusing, I'll show you exactly where these can be acquired from Amazon's website. I've switched to a web browser that is viewing Amazon's Web Services homepage, aws.amazon.com. If I click on the account at the top right, we'll see a couple more options related to account management. We're actually interested in the security credentials link just about at the middle of the page. If I click this link, Amazon will require us to log in. Once I do that, we'll see the link we're really looking for, the access credentials link. Following this, we'll expose our access key ID, and if I click show, we'll also see our secret access key. I'm going to copy these two values into Explorer's activation wizard. After doing that, I can click Next and Explorer will validate the information I've provided. We've reached the last step in the activation wizard, so we know that Explorer is successfully connected to Amazon's cloud service. The final activation step is providing Explorer with some way to access existing VMs for migration. There are three ways to access existing VMs, and if I drop this list down, we'll see what those are. The first two are VMware options, ESX or Virtual Center. And the third option is a remote file system where we can access raw virtual machine files, just like the files we downloaded to deploy the Explorer appliance. In my case, I'll be accessing an ESX server, so I'll choose that option. Next, I'll enter basic connectivity information, the hostname, a username, and a password for accessing the ESX server. Once I click Finish, Explorer will validate the information I've provided, and finally bring us to the main Explorer interface. If I expand my VM location, I see the VMs defined on this server. Migrating one of these VMs into the cloud is really straightforward at this point. When I click on our CRM server, the Move to Cloud button becomes enabled. If I click it, Explorer will automatically migrate the server into the cloud. This is a one-click process, in other words, and Explorer will take care of the rest. Depending on the size of the VM you select, this can take some time, so I'm going to fast forward this a bit so we see the end state. Great, our VM is up and running with the same IP address it had when it was running under VMware. At this point, you should be able to access the VM just as you always have, whether SSH, RDP, HTTP, or any other protocol. That's the end of this video, so please register for access to our beta and check out the free Explorer appliance. Thanks for listening.